When we last left off, our intrepid heroes made their way to the village of Mastings, where Hashat was finally reunited with her happy family and relentlessly bullied for being a runaway child and having had an extremely cute childhood nickname.
Very embarrassing childhood nickname.
But you kept digging in the ground and getting covered in dirt like a tuber, so your parents called you Tater. And Ursula found the gravesite of her mom and had a great big cry, but woke up with a ring in her hand under the tree, which was covered in abyssal runes. It was quite badly burnt. Of course, before the party had arrived in town in the first place, they had seen a group of slavers on the road, orcs, who had looted a tomb, grabbed a cat girl. Just general all-around bad folk. And the party stepped up to engage them, but just as they made to, a different group of folks slipped out from the shadows and ripped the orcs to shreds. Would have carried off the poor cat girl too, but luckily with some clever tactics and diplomacy, the party was able to prevent that from happening, since after all they did help kill the orcs. And these strange white-painted figures withdrew back towards Stormvale into a tree, carrying a lance made of unicorn horn. The cat girl introduced herself as Jeanette, a brand new priestess of the Morrigan, who had gone to Stormvale to smite some undead, as the region appears to be quite lousy with them. But the party has a stop or two to make before they get to the Vale itself. Specifically, they are missing Hashat's brother, Arik, who has a pregnante wife back in town, but himself has vanished, claiming that he went to go live big like a shot and get rich, like a proper adventurer. A shot scried for him, and figured that he was in some of the hills nearby, apparently outside a cave entrance and surrounded by other adventurers. And I believe that is probably the next destination for our adventurers, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Hello?
hello.
Is everything back now?
I
Is
guess
it?
so. Are you there?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was a very I'll surmise for you the recap I heard. That potato grave.
Potato Grave is basically the summary, yes.
I told my brother I was going to plant him in my potato garden if he did not come back, and he assumed with my and he thought I was some kind of witch from the sending because he doesn't know about sendings. So when I find him, I'm going to bury him in the ground up to up to the neck, and then pull on his ears.
Well, is there anything you'd like to do in Mastings before you depart?
Right. Hold on. There is something. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Is it Tassie? because she's frequently on the tip of your tongue.
It's something I was going to tell my parents. Ah, okay. It would have come up in conversation. Yes. It was that. It was my quest, I guess. Would have informed them that I found out where my power comes from and that I'm actually descended from a primordial. And I've been to Dalmanotha and met the old queen and princess, and I'm on a great quest to find the heir of Dalmanotha to reestablish a country, perhaps? For Minotaurs, I guess. It's all very exciting.
Well, I think that sounds like something out of a storybook, but if you're telling it true, then that's pretty incredible, though. They'll say that there is a certain homeland for Minotaurs already back towards Pergolith, whence your old man comes.
Yeah.
So it ain't like your people are homeless, but
No.
still, if you want a third home, well, who are they to stop you?
I guess the last thing I'll do is put the chest on the table and tell them not to open it until I'm gone. Once I'm gone, open it.
You will see Rasa have to slap Arya's hand away from just immediately trying to unwrap the present, such as it is. But your parents will nod, somewhat understanding what's happening, and old man will come give you a great big hug.
Yeah. I'll try not to be such a stranger.
You best not. Now, I want to see you and your brother back here pretty damn soon. I'm gonna be worried sick about the both of you now.
I'll drag him back by the horns.
Good, good. Gives you a clap on the back. Make us proud out there. Ah, hell, you always do.
Is there like somebody here that has a wagon and like can bear people for like a coin or two?
I suppose if you're willing to pay for it, sure, they can rent you a horse and wagon.
Well, yeah, mostly because we need somebody to take it back, given the fact that we don't tend to do that. We tend to just poop.
Generously, assuming she survives, she'll be happy to take it back around here for you. This is be on her way.
Who?
Jeanette, the cleric.
Oh, okay, yeah, and then ask if somebody around here has, so I can give them some dosh for it.
Sure, yeah. There's, like I said, there's plenty of horses and plenty of carts around in the community. You can drop like a silver, I guess, and they'll let you keep it as long as you need, since Shot's local.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get my character sheet open. Oh wow, that loaded really fast. What the fuck? Roll20 is being efficiently fast? What the fuck? Ooh, that's a good nice number. I just flip him a gold.
There is a great deal of peasant stammering, but they will take it.
Yeah, I have a nice number in silver. I don't really want to break it, so.
Of course. August will give you the understanding nod. So, on the road again then, this time with an extra horse and cart.
So we can actually have some nice speed on our ass. Especially Hashat's ass.
I'm too heavy for that shit.
No, that's why it got the fucking cart itself.
I mean,
An entire fucking wagon for that.
you guys already needed 2 wagons to carry all of you.
Yeah.
Then again, for the amount of money you paid, you can probably just get a second cart.
We'll bring
And then
we'll bring them back.
Well, try. Bring it back.
Concerned peasant noises.
What's the word again? Yeah, at least this way we can make extremely good fucking time instead of just being on foot.
Alright. So, with horses and carts sorted out, the party is able to depart the village and begin heading on towards Stormvale. However, there is something in the road, not all that far outside of town, that stops you as you make your departure. Short ways off. Let's see if I can find a token for it, actually. Perfect. A couple of hours outside town, the party discovers that there is a bowl sitting on the road, just a stone's throw away from where you slaughtered a great deal of orcs. It currently has a piece of cloth wrapped over the top.
Huh.
Okay, careful. Just. Ah,
I mean, I'll eat it if nobody else will.
Well, Hashat, you're a local. Is this some custom?
of
Huh.
course.
I will try to throw a history check at this. I'm not perfect. I'm not good at that though. Uh,
You have
16?
never seen anything quite like this before.
It's just a bowl with a
It is
cloth on it?
a wicker bowl with a piece of cloth over the top, yes.
I lift the cloth.
All right. Inside, there are a number of exotic fruits: bananas, pears, watermelons, grapefruits, oranges, apples, grapes,
Hmm.
strawberries, and several small paper pouches of a dark powder that smells of chocolate.
Considering what happened yesterday, I have a feeling this is a thank you from the Fey spirits.
Just. Dum, 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 dum.
We should offer thanks for this gracious gift of theirs.
Well, they have their stones here, so.
Yes, perhaps we should leave an offering for them as well.
Oh, what was it that they usually like?
Townsfolk
I,
suggested that the local Fae like fish.
Oh, we still have some of that fish. They can farm that up in the morning.
got a bottle of wine to go with that.
I actually do have a bottle of wine to go with that.
Probably would not be remiss.
Okay, so we got some fish, fresh fish, and anything else I think we should toss in here?
Fish and wine. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think that should be good.
Okay, well, I just get stuff out and just. We should probably get here some wax paper and just gonna put it.
Leaves a bump of cocaine. You know what? They're fair. They're Fey. They might actually be okay. Be
You
cool with
know
that.
what?
Do you got any dragon
That is.
grass? Wait, Szooth, you got dragon grass?
So we got fish, we got wine, we got coke, and we got weed. Like, god damn, this is the fucking offering.
You can start Burning Man right here.
And yeah, you guys can leave out offerings of food and booze and dragon grass.
Yes.
Those of you who are at the standing stones, why don't you go ahead and roll perception for me?
Okay.
Excellent.
Outstanding,
Oh, god damn,
Hashat.
what's it on Ursula?
Based.
Okay. Kobold, and the scale is here, just take it home.
Yeah, the Scalies activate their predator vision for a moment, and you too can see there is some movement over in one of the smaller copse of trees nearby.
Oh, a Vater.
Yes, she's hiding
Oh,
behind the heft of a tree at the moment, peeking out a painted face,
Oh,
staring
she
at
cute.
you.
Smile and wave.
She recoils when she realizes she's been seen and disappears into a tree.
She's shy.
Okay. I'm not used to people being afraid of kobolds.
we don't look like the friendliest bunch. You look like the friendliest type, but the rest of us, not so much. But, they, so it's another waiter we met. It's like this. third one we met? There was the dragon waiter at the island.
Yeah, Vader all over. What's the problem?
Oh, no, apparently there was one shy up in the trees. I just left nothing here.
Uh-huh. Well,
I don't know,
if
it seems
we're
that
done harassing the flora,
Yeah, we can go. Yeah. Give a nice offering in exchange for their nice gift basket of fruits.
we can pick up their offering. You can turn that into some rations, or
Yeah.
more Sundays, as the case may be.
I'll figure out a little further on. Let's get moving and find that brother of yours.
All right. So the party can keep going. And soon enough, you find yourselves passing through a gap in the mountains that make up the eastern edge of Stormvale itself. You are now, finally, on the map.
Well,
So that orc said this place was like a no man's land. Stormsong is like no one controls this place.
Ostensibly on paper, this is part of Aruna, but in practice, there is no lord or settled peoples here. Just ruins and orcs and this one tiny dwarf keep.
The only way in and out of this place is this one pass, or through here, the coast. Interesting.
the fact that the fact that there's this little river going up here would like and splitting this way. Ruins of Riverdale, Cerulean. It's like I'm surprised there's no Port City mentioned.
The Ferris is is nice, but it is just one. It is just one place, and it's a ruin. But this place, Stormsong,
Well, the difference is also that the first is filled with undead.
is not filled up. No, this place would take a lot of work. However, work builds pride in where you set down your roots. If a people were to
Yeah.
settle this land, they would be mighty protective of it and very proud of their accomplishment.
Well, speaking of roots, where did you say your brother was?
Shouldn't be somewhere around here. We could probably ask the dwarves if they've seen a group of people with a minotaur wander on by.
The who?
There's a dwarf hold right here, just up
Oh,
the road.
very well.
Right, want to stop in at the dwarves?
Yeah. Let's see where the hell get any information.
Seems reasonable enough. It'll take you just a
About
couple
the
hours to make your way up
potato.
towards Stonesong. Now, you've heard very little of this place beyond the fact that once upon a time it was a quite fabulously wealthy dwarf hold and had a large bank, but according to more recent information, it's a shell of its former self. The hobgoblins apparently sent a group of sappers up here to claim it, as they had other dwarf fortresses, but they merely just came, delivered notice, and left because it really wasn't worth invading. And you can kind of see why as you approach. It's certainly seen better
Oh.
days, chiseled out of the rock
Oh.
face.
Shit. Oh, wait, what the fuck happened here? Like, what? What the hell? What in the hell's happened here?
Oh, they're
Not
still looking
sure.
around.
Orcs, maybe?
Not
No.
sure anything
Hobgoblins?
happened to this place. Looks like they just haven't kept it up for centuries.
Yeah, but this valley here, like this entire. No, 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 no. Just check the nearest building,
All right,
which would
you
probably be.
check that building there, and the door opens, and you see a man inside.
Sure.
Yeah, he also starts as you just like tap the door. It reels in. He is an
Wow.
elderly dwarf, snow white of the beard with long mustaches and thick eyebrows. And he is
Oh.
wearing the holy symbol of Kandarn heavy around his neck on a silver chain. He sputters and takes a few steps back.
Oh, sorry to
I'm
startle you there.
I'm so sorry. What happened here?
Oh, what? What happened where? Glances
Well,
around.
I'm looking at the stonework. It's like on the buildings.
Oh, yes, there's all seen better days. Everything here has. That's true enough. True enough.
Can I check what kind of stone this is?
Appears to be good, solid granite, same as you would mine out of these mountains.
What the? Did somebody? What happened to the stone? How long has this been corroded away or rotted? What the hell? Shouldn't happen.
Scowls. It is not rotten, just there's too much of it. Too much these days. That is all, that is all. There's none to care for it. It's just too much. Too much.
What is too much?
The stone, I said, the stone.
Don't
Can't
seem
keep this up by myself, girl.
Are you the only one here?
He nods slowly. Outside, anyway.
Uh,
Could count on one hand how many are inside.
I'm guessing most moved on to better prospects.
Better prospects, yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Can I just ask, like, how long has this dwarf been here?
This whole Stonesong's been here since the start of time, girl. Ancient beyond memory. May not look it, but the stone endures. Even if it's not pretty. Even if its best years are long behind. Grips the holy symbol of Kandarn hanging from his neck hard enough that his knuckles whiten. Shakes his head vigorously. No time to fix anymore. No strength left. That's all.
If it's been here so long, why did they leave?
Shakes his head. Time wears on, girl. Time wears on. All of us leave eventually.
We're just gonna have a sit down and just do a commune with nature for this. Something's fishy here.
Sure. And as you sit down and begin the ritual, the old cleric, not knowing quite what you're doing, will simply cast guidance on you. Nod along. Yes, commune with the earth. See how strong it is still. Feel the strength under your feet. These were great lands once. Once.
I will also participate. That is not
Jesus
the spell.
Christ, you just
That is
killed,
not. That is
killed
not
her.
the. Oh, that was not the spell I was in. That's not the one I was in. This one. This one.
Okay, thank you. You killed an old dwarf and
Didn't mean
sent Ursula
that was the
flying
wrong
skyline.
one. They're right
Yeah,
next
he and
to
his
each
10
other.
hit points are obliterated.
God damn it.
Alright, let's see. And Hedrah, could you print your spell card as well? Let me just make sure I have everything you guys should be getting here.
Yes, let me just read. No, God damn it.
Close.
Where the fuck is it? Oh,
I
it
think
is
it's
that.
one of your third level features. Oh no.
Commune with nature spell. So it's. Can I just. Ah, here. There we go.
There we go.
I went into the never fucking use tab in Ursula's sheet. Spells.
Right. 3 facts of your choice on any of the following subjects that relate to the area. So, What facts would you like to know, Ursula? So I will copy this to Hashat.
Goodness.
So it's for you. It's everything went dry.
Yes. I can feel it. This place was once very, very rich, but things just ran out eventually.
Okay, so powerful celestial fae feeds elemental undeads. It's one of them. The
Celestial.
second,
Go ahead.
okay, the first one is like the powerful celestial blah blah blah. And the outer influence from other planes of existence. Hmm. You got minerals. And given the fact that we are outside, it will give me a massive ping out. This has been since buildings. Because if it has been here since fucking forever, that means there probably some subterranean, underground earth worshipping temples.
Yeah, if you want a sense for subterranean structures, for sure, there are a load of them. You're seeing maybe 10% of the whole vastness of Stonesong out here. There is a tremendous complex beneath the earth, sprawling out for well over a mile.
Yeah, I got a 3-mile radius, so that'll help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Stonesong tunnels themselves only last for about a mile radius, but still, that's quite a substantial hold, even by dwarf standards.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking big. But is there any place? Then we got the other ones too.
Yeah, you have 2 more questions.
Yeah. So the first one was is any buildings sort of like worshipping for Earth?
I don't think you could determine the purpose of a building per se, but you don't detect any powerful earth elemental influence around here.
Okay, that's what the second question was. Powerful celestial fae feeds elemental undead.
Okay. Well, again, there's a powerful celestial very close by, but aside from that, no. However, you do detect, while not a creature, there is a faint trace of fey magic in the air.
Huh. Fey magic in there. Interesting. And then influences from other planes of existence.
So you used your 3 questiones.
What?
You get 3 facts, which we just went over.
Yeah. Powerful celestial fae feeds elements. Nothing was there.
Yeah.
Influence from other planes of existence. Buildings.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get an answer from influence from other planes of existence.
I told you you did not detect any. You specifically asked about Earth Elemental, and I said no.
Oh, well, that falls into elementals.
Yes, that's a specific question.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It does not give you all of the information. You do have to ask specific questions.
Okay. Never crumbles, just. Well, the hold stretches for a mile at least underground, from what I can sense. What about you, Hashat?
Well, I can't sense anything like that myself, but I already told you all I know.
Hmm.
There's not much here. Well, this place is basically empty. It wouldn't do for
Why?
a mine anymore, but it could serve a different purpose. Eventually.
Why is it called Stonesong?
The region?
So it's Stormvale and Stonesong.
Yeah, Stonesong.
Sorry. Stonesong, this place, and Stormvale, the region.
Yeah,
Are you asking the priest that?
yes.
It's called Stonesong because we sang the song, girl. The song of shaping. Once long ago, our folk walk through the paths below and give praise to she who slumbers beneath and reshape the world to their dreams. But we lost that gift long, long ago. Lost the song.
Why?
Spreads his hands. No one left to sing it. None that know the words.
Hey, Hashat, what was the name of the ancestor of yours again?
Lashan?
No. The blood one.
Saracena.
The priest nods in recognition. Aye, mistress of the earth. Once we sang her song, now her gaze is gone. And yet we remain here. Are those years left to us?
I'm a descendant of hers.
Do you know the song, girl?
I can sometimes hear the earth.
But can you shape it? Can you sing its song?
Yes.
He watches you wave your hand in the earth, divots down. He sighs, shakes his head. Wizardry's not the song, girl. Not even close. He sighs dejectedly and
What do you
turns
mean then?
back towards the building.
Okay, bye.
Oh, just it climbs up. Somewhat climbs up on Nahia and just whispers, "Should I ask him about Mom? I've seen or knows of her."
So I suppose you could.
Oh, you can just gently knock.
Once again, the door just sort of slides
You
open
can
on its
just
own.
gently knock.
Once again, the door just sort of slides
You
open
can
on its
just
own.
gently knock. I have, if you're there, hello.
Once your eyes adjust to the darkness, you see the priest has retreated a bit into the building to an old dusty altar, and he glances over his shoulder. I am here till my last breath.
I have a few questions, but given the fact that you're dwarf, you probably know because everyone else is probably just dead. Do you know if there was about a dwarven woman some 70 years ago, or that was maybe longer, that went to the village up the road?
He nods his head
Auburn
slowly.
hair. Yeah, auburn hair, and
Aye.
do you know her, do you remember her name?
Do I? He strokes his beard for a long moment.
He just takes out a bottle of dwarven spirit.
He raises a hand. No. It's not a question of jogging the memory. It's a question of long years. Long years. Strokes his beard a long moment more indeed, or finally saying, Yes, indeed. Her name was Manus.
Manus.
Aye, Manus Stonesinger. The last of us to leave, she was.
Just slightly twitches her body, like, like holds back, like one of those fucking arm pump, jump in the air kind of reactions, like, Manus Stonesinger.
Aye. What's her name? Though it seems the stone keeps it now. The merchantman came years back. Said the folk of Mastings killed her. Said she'd had a
Just
child, too.
shoots forwards and hugs him,
Well,
picks him up.
he flails a bit. The most animation you've seen out of him yet. He's returned to the earth. Ah,
Just,
what is the meaning of this?
I never knew her name. Now I do. She had a child. Yes,
Yes,
a daughter.
the last of us. And they killed her for it. Shame that.
Well, apparently the daughter was a lot harder to kill than expected. Hi.
He arches a brow and shakes his head. No, can't be, can't be. There's no
First,
stone singers that young yet. Fie,
Ursula.
figment of my imagination, be gone.
No.
He turns and clasps his hand at the altar.
I don't know how I didn't die back then. I tried. But I lived. Now no mom. Now I know my mom's name. And I'm 70 years.
When he does not answer, you can see that his eyes have closed now and he is mumbling prayers under his breath to Kandarn. August will peek in the door after a moment. Ursula, the man's daft. Come on, let's check out the buildings upstairs. Huh?
Okay. Just hugs him and picks him up and swings him around.
There is a great deal of elven
This-
cursing.
You don't know how happy I am.
Well,
I don't know what.
just wish it was a little bit of a more happy greeting for you. It's not much of a home
Yeah,
to
I
come
know.
back to.
Well, that's true, but at least I know now. Manus. Manus. But yes, to check out this. And right, brother. Sorry, I just get so. Just
It's
got
all right.
so excited.
I'm glad you were able to find out your mother's name.
Yeah, it's it just rubs the ring with the finger. Like at least I know now. At least I can make the stone pretty with her name and everything. But yes, you're right. Sorry, I'm sorry. Just you should go check the buildings. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe there's information in there.
maybe.
And even so, if we clear up the undead a bit there, we can actually, maybe get a trading route going here.
Trade to what?
Well, there's probably something in here.
Not much, but we'll see.
Well, we get some buildings to check up, and let's see who else are still here.
They can make their way a bit up the road to the bridge leading into the keep itself. There you can see, first and mightiest of all ahead is a dwarf wearing armor and riding upon a mighty dire badger.
Oh god, the badger.
Oh,
The beast of
badgers.
rage is restrained at the moment, chewing on a huge hunk of meat, but it glances up at you with very old eyes full of hatred. The man riding it is not alone. There is a tiny green figure sitting behind a tripoded scorpion next to the door, wearing what Tarn will immediately recognize as some extremely old and very poorly maintained Imperial Sapper's armor. And speaking with both of them is another dwarf on a cart
Oh
that is
hey, look
laden
who
with
it is.
stone.
Jella!
What?
Jelenar.
Why, if it isn't the heroes of Avara.
Ursula, what are you doing all the way out here?
He scrabbles off the seat of his cart and walks over to meet you.
Just rushes over and picks him up
Whoa!
in a bear hug. Swings him around.
Don't mind
Just
Ursula.
happy.
She's doing that to everyone right now.
She's in a very good
Ah.
mood. I must admit it's never poor luck to see you.
Oh, well, thank you. As for what I'm doing here, well, doing as I do, trading stone at the moment. We'll pat the side of his cart, which is laden down with granite. Indeed, as you glance in, you can see that rather than just raw stone, his cargo has been shaped beautifully into bricks, each exactly the same as the next and stamped with a pair of interlocked S's. Finest in the north of the province, this is. Taking it down to help the Duke with that little magic academy of his. Ah, found yourself an apprentice, did you? Jeanette will smile and nod. Good. Wish I could get me one of them. Last bunch got run off by bandits back up near a drain. Terrible business, that.
Man, that's just... Well, it's at least you're well known and loved there.
Why, that implies I'm not well loved everywhere I go. He will grin. Oh, you're heading into Stormvale then. Oh, good luck. Hope I see you again. A lot of folks go in there
Oh.
and you don't.
We're
Oh.
hunting a white. Or a bunch of them.
Can't say I've ever seen a white, but I've seen a few undead in my time, and they're all bad business. Thanks be to the Morrigan for getting rid of them.
Oh, speaking of others, what does your brother look like, Hashat?
Sorry?
Your brother, what does he actually look like?
Oh yeah. Hey Jelenar, have you seen a quartet of would-be adventurers around here? One with an Amazon, there's a lizard folk, and a big minotaur, and a tiefling.
Well, I definitely saw a group of adventurers with a tiefling a bit ago.
Oh
Actually,
yeah?
they came with me up on the road a bit, but they went a touch further into the valley than I was willing to go, no matter how much treasure they said they'd been promised.
Promised?
Promised?
Who
Promised?
by?
Oh, yeah, wouldn't shut up about it. Wanted to drag me in,
Wait, this
loaded into my cart. Said some
was
goblin merchant come by and told them wild stories about a temple under the stone, ripe for the looting. I said they were
Oh,
mad to trust,
that's...
glances over his shoulder. A wild story like that from a merchant they don't know.
Did they say how far in they were going?
Well, they weren't quite stupid enough to tell me where the treasure was, unless I was coming with them, but, they did mention something about the foothills, so can't be that far in.
We could...
Can
I mean,
I make a history roll for just any obscure ancient hill temples?
Sure.
Marek help?
Yes. In fact, Merrick and Elsina have been having an hours-long debate inside your head about the specific point of border contact between the Elven Realm and Valand. It's probably driving you slowly insane, so getting them to shut up for a moment and help you is probably pretty nice.
No, that actually sounds incredibly interesting.
Oh no, it
Remember,
was for the
this
first
is
couple of hours.
Tarn.
It has, however, degenerated it into no youism long ago.
But yeah, does a 20 get me anything?
Yes, indeed. Let me pop you back to the map for a second. So, as far as temples go, there is a structure here that once upon a time was a quite prosperous copper mine and was known to house a temple of Kandarn.
Could you put some markers down for
Yes.
these?
Boop.
Thank you.
And in addition to that, there is also, all the way over here, a temple to the elemental winds up in the mountains on the other side.
the winds, huh?
Mm-hmm.
and for a second I thought they said Mein Kampf. Temple, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's actually a hobgoblin temple. As you
Yeah, there was.
roll out your map and consult it for a moment, Jally will lean over and say, I don't know about that. They seem to think it was pretty close by. Maybe I'd say it wouldn't be past here.
Could be there in like an hour or so. You know how fast we travel.
Intimately well, yes.
It does sound like they've probably been taken for a ride.
Probably. Hashat, are we bringing them back to your village before we send them to Nermay?
Who are we sending? We're not sending anyone to Naramay.
Weren't you gonna send your brother and his team on his first, level 1 that the Elven
The
Lords there
training
had?
dungeon? No, I said I would bring them home.
Yes, first.
Yes.
Okay, but so
I'm gonna bring him back to Masting.
okay, so we're passing through Stonesong on the way back. Okay, good. I just look over to the captain. It's like, excuse me.
He will glance up from the conversation with the goblin, give you a slow nod.
Do you know anyone called Manus? Or new?
He strokes his beard for a moment. He leans down, says something to the goblin, who will shake her head vigorously. He'll say, "No one here by that name. No, ma'am."
Oh, no, not here. She left. Just thinks for a moment, doesn't know how fucking tall she was. Damn it. Auburn hair, she left like 80, 70, 80 years ago. I don't know really how long she was there, but she went down to the village down
Oh,
or into the.
I know who you speak then. Left here a long time ago.
How long ago?
Nigh on a century.
Oh. Do you? Oh, do you have? Do Do you know if she has like kin or just somebody that's still alive that knew her?
We're all kin here. All stone singers. At least until you leave. Badger looks at you with a particularly hateful stare.
I just looked at the badger. Try it and it'll fucking eat your face.
Badger fears no one, not even death.
Yeah, no, but okay. I don't really know how they do it here. Like, okay, does she have like mom and dad?
No, died long ago. As a cousin, though.
A cousin? Oh,
Lady Miley, our last stone shaper. Jalinar glance up. Oh, hi. He's who I did business with.
it's just starting to bounce. But she looks back at the party. Can we please?
Suppose we can stay a couple more hours.
It just whispers to Jalinar. She's my aunt.
Oh, well. I see.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I can kind of see the resemblance, I suppose. Similar hair color, about the same height. Yeah. Careful with her, though. She's a shrewd businesswoman, and none too friendly. Good at her craft, though. Damn
Okay.
good.
Oh yeah, I'm just gets out her books about, rather, the slabs and books about ancient stone works and crafting. Yeah, look, this just flips it over. See?
I can see it runs in the family, then. She's less artful than that. More about, bricks. You'll tap his cargo.
Well, you asked for bricks, didn't you?
Sure, but never seen her make anything else, and I've been dealing with her for 30, 40 years.
Well, have you asked for anything else?
Well, no, but she's never offered. Just think if she had a bone of artistry in her, she would. Could make a fortune selling that.
Oh, yeah, I have to return these books within like 10 years, so.
Well, almost out of time then. Gives you a wink.
Oh, no, I only had this for like a couple of months at best, so I already learned like half of them.
Oh, good. Glad to see
But-
you're reading, Ursula. Expand that brain.
I try, it's hard.
That it is.
Oh,
Well, seems
oh,
like you have an appointment inside. I shouldn't keep you.
Oh, yeah, are you in a hurry? Stuff like that.
Well, I'd like to make it to Mastings before nightfall, anyway. Don't particularly fancy
Yes.
a night in the cold.
Okay. Well, just give some swinging hugs again.
Whoa! Hey there, girl. I'm sure your kin will love you.
Hopefully.
Nothing to hope for. They're all downright lovable.
Before you go, though, before you head on out there, Jalinar,
Hi.
have you heard of the effort to repopulate the area above the region above Kadar?
Oh, hi. A
Resettling initiative?
group of adventurers bumped into me on the road a ways back. Lady Olwen, I think, said she'd put some money into rebuilding New Kadar.
Yeah. New Kadar. But the area where Sakani was and the mountain keep there. There's
Here, that's haunted. Some kind of winter
not
fae.
anymore. Oh, the winter fae thing. I'm gonna
Terrible stuff. Used to be good mines up there. Long ago, though.
Oh, they are still very good. That's my domain. I have to deal with that fairy problem, though. But I am looking for someone of talent to help manage the supplies and the rebuilding efforts there, especially with the ruined city, Igniferus.
Well, for that you need dwarves. No one else you can trust to build stonework underground like that.
Indeed, and I don't know any dwarf more well connected than the great Jalinar.
Oh, well, you do flatter me, my lady, but I wouldn't say that. Still, if you're looking to get some help getting supplies up there and able craftsmen, I might have a few strings I could pull for you.
I could provide you a budget.
That would certainly help. Dwarves aren't, we're not the most generous folk.
No, but I know your skills as a merchant. I'm sure you could haggle and get a good deal.
Oh, I'm sure I could.
I have set aside quite a sizable sum of gold to help to initiate the reconstruction and resettling.
Well, it just so happens I know a good number of dwarves who are less employed than they used to be up near Adrene. Reckon they might be willing to move on over.
That's
Not a
what I
lot
like to
of
hear.
other sources of stone up there, though. At least not cut stone, but could open a quarry. It's ripe mountain
Yes.
work.
I happen to know that there's not just coal in that mountain.
Yes, I bet. That seemed all that interested the Empire.
Bah. There's
No
iron
offense, Lord
in
Tarnavak.
there's iron in those hills.
None taken. It's well known that many of my kin are fucking stupid with actually evaluating resources.
Aye, like about half the populace. Yes, well, if you want to make a business discussion, I suppose I can delay my trip by a little while.
Would be much appreciated. At least until Ursula's finished her reunion.
Wait, where are you taking the stone? You're taking it to Anders. Oh no, we can't send you down there.
What?
We can't send you to Narame either. That would be ideal.
I'm quite fine with my cart, thank you very much. No teleporting this
I was
dwarf.
just thinking. Yeah, I was just thinking if we could just help you, but then I remembered the circles aren't in a place where you can move a cart out.
That seems to be the point. I'm surprised you all have your carts and such.
We got these from
Oh.
Mastings.
Of course you did.
Yeah. But yes, so
Who's Tater? Cassie will point directly to Hashat with both hands. Wait, you're that Tater the Masting folk kept talking about. Little grubby Tater. glad the runaway child finally came home, at least. You have stopped by your
Yeah.
folks' place, right?
I did.
Good. Well, and you still have all your horns and extremities. That's good. They were certainly telling me that you might not be having all your bits and pieces when they were done with you, but seems they had soft hearts after all. Quite
think it
irate
helped.
they were.
I think it helped that they had some time to cool off before I actually showed up.
No doubt.
If I had just shown up without calling ahead, messaging ahead, I would have.
Oh yes, it staved your face,
Might have
right?
some bruises, but they were just happy. They were just relieved to see me.
Although that makes that idiot Minotaur wizard your brother, then, don't it?
Yes, my folks. They asked me to drag his ass back home.
Well,
Fool
now
boy.
I feel mildly invested in their survival.
It's my fault. He did it.
Oh, I doubt that.
Trying to take after me, going off being an adventurer.
Not much other way a humble fisherman can strike it rich, unless you fish a magic ring out of the river or something.
Well, apparently he's apprenticed under the witch in town and learned a few things.
Aye,
There's
that'll
a
let
few
him brew potions for the village folk when one can scrape up a year's savings to afford one.
Well, I mean, it's not a difficult trick to learn how to mold the earth, especially with our bloodline. If he just lent into that, he could fucking he could do the work of several individuals. Though I hear his talent is more along making things really cold instead of moving the earth like me.
Oh, aye, he was quite insistent on showing everyone his trick for making ice cubes.
See, if he just lent into all that, he could make quite a profit himself.
Well,
Be
that's what
quite
I told him.
successful.
But no, he's the
Especially in the
strike-it-rich
summer.
all-at-once kind. Doesn't want to work for a living like the rest of us. But I suppose I can understand the sentiment with a baby on the way.
Yes, that's why I'm gonna drag him back home. I mean, when I ran away, at least I didn't leave a pregnant wife all by herself.
In the boy's defense, he said he was coming right back. One quick dungeon
Yeah.
delve, he said, and that was it. He'd strike it rich, come home, build his wife a great big house. Thought he'd become the mayor of Mastings, he said.
Crumbles.
What?
We should go get him now. I can talk to her on the way when we come back.
Are you sure?
She is safe in here. Your brother is not safe out there. Deep sighs. Come on.
Aye, he and his dumb friends probably are going to get themselves killed.
That's what we don't want.
Problem is, we don't know where we're going.
I'm not sure exactly where he is.
Wait, Kina, do you have anything from him?
No.
Can't you lot just scry or something?
I did that the day before. I haven't done it again yet. I could.
Well, we can once we get close to the area, I can do, like with nature and try to find them. I can just sniff them out in a 3 mile.
3 mile radius. That's not going to get us far. Look, Ursula, you go talk to your aunt. I'm going to head back down to the old timer in his hut. If anyone would know any weird rumors about ancient treasures that might have enticed Hashat's brother, it'd be him.
Or if there's anyone else in here. And Shella, do you know how many are still here?
Not many. These poor folk. Glances over his shoulder back across the bridge at the captain. These are poor folk indeed, but I don't think there's all of 10 dwarves in the whole place left. Sad story, theirs.
Yeah, the place ran dry on all valuable minerals, right?
Ran dry in a few more ways than that. Hasn't been a
Oh,
kid born here in nigh on 200 years.
wait, what?
Oh, that sounds cursed.
Yeah,
Could be. They say their population been dwindling for long, long before that.
Okay, that doesn't sound right.
Well, no, it ain't right. Gods don't favor this place. Haven't in a long, long time. The folk inside keep saying some song left them. Who
Yeah, the
knows?
Stonesong.
Whatever that is.
Cersina, the primordial goddess of the earth.
Well, I won't claim to know nothing about no primordials, but I can tell you these folk have been mourning the loss of that song since my grandpappy was walking around.
I think this is tied to whatever you got there, Hashat.
Certainly sounds like it.
Yeah,
They were
sounds like.
specifically blessed. And whatever has happened to Cersina happened. It's going to be a backlash to that going away.
Yeah, seems like we're gonna solve this. I think that's going back to that salt mine.
You mind cluing me in on what y'all talking about?
Well, Hashat, is that okay?
Huh?
I'm talking about, that salt mine and you and
I'd rather no one
you.
goes down too deep in there. It's not a safe place.
It's a complicated topic, Jelenar. There's a lot of old magic fuckery going on. So
Yeah.
Of course, I won't pry. Sounds like if you know something about what's happened to these folks, you ought to say something. They're a bit dour, but they're good people at heart.
Yeah, but if we fix it, like the only ones that can actually fix it just points at Hashat because she's not like she wasn't given power by, she's descendant from.
Descendant of the Saracena.
Don't know much about that, but still.
Saracena, the Earth God, the primordial of Earth. That's why she has all these cool Earth powers.
Oh yes, I picked that up, but I mean, I don't know much about magic, nor how it relates to fertility, but still. If you all think it does,
Oh, oh yes. Oh, Jesus. She is. She goes near a woman and she gets gets pregnant.
you see Jeanette, like, inch her horse away from his shot.
What?
It's a. It's what's that? It's an expression or like a hyperbole.
I did hear about that business down in Narame. I'm not
Cough.
sure how much of a hyperbole it actually is.
Oh, hyperbole. Okay.
Yeah, you pronounce the E.
But I did say hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Yeah, bowl. You know, Bole. Bowl.
Guy just reaches over and pats the cat. You'll get used to it, kid. Alright, so what are we doing?
Okay. Tarnavak, you talk to the old stone there. I'm going to go meet my aunt.
Okay. Then about that deal then.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk specifics while your friends are busy, eh?
Yeah.
Jelenar will bring his cart around even with yours, and you guys can get down to work. Jeanette is going to get some distance between her and the fertility god. Probably go with Tarn.
Well, they're sort of nerds, both of them. So
I'm not. It's not
Rude.
proximity based. That's just. I'm so misunderstood.
And it is proximity based, it's just the proximity has to be internal.
Hmm.
okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So let's see what deep breaths and starts marching the wagon in.
Alright. You are stopped at the gates by the dwarf on the badger. Hold up a hand. Name yourselves, strangers. What business do you bring to Stonesong?
Well, I have business with Miley Stonesinger. My name is Ursula. This is the famous scholar and lore master Szooth.
Wait.
And this is the high priestess or chosen of the Morrigan.
Dwarf's eyebrows will arch.
And that is my good friend Gaius, consort of the Archmage of Ivara.
The dwarf will nod his head slowly. Well, if you've got a priestess of the Morrigan, if the Raven's truly back, then at least there's hope for the valley down below. Sure, you know the troubles it has. Aye, good. Good. Well, if you bring peace to the valley, you may enter.
Thank you.
The goblin gives you all a nod, and the badger stares with barely contained rage. But you are able to enter the vast, echoing halls of Stonesong. And echo they do, for they are grand and vaulted and occupied by precious little these days, save for dust and scuttling mice and insects. There certainly was a grandeur to this place once, but that is long past now. As you enter, you hear once again a muffled voice from August's backpack. He finally pulls it off of his shoulder, opens the flap. What did I say about no talking? Inside, you hear Prisha's voice. I just want to check my bank account. Is that so wrong? Ugh.
Just okay.
The backpack will shift slightly, and the top of Prisha's skull appears from inside. You see a mage hand wave at you. Luckily, the
I
gate
just
guards are
sigh.
turned away.
Nahia. I just sigh with Nahia.
August scowls. What? She wanted to come.
Okay. Okay. Well, at least we know now. I guess. Can't really deny her that.
Prisha will add from the bag. Yeah, I did sort of live around here, you know. I thought I'd be useful.
Oh, okay. Well, it's okay.
Yeah, I know, Nahia. That's why I told her to keep quiet, so it wouldn't come up. But somebody's so fucking greedy they can't shut their fucking mouth. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go see if the bank is still open somehow, and how much interest certain ghosts have acquired. We'll catch up.
Okay, take care, be careful.
Hop off his horse and proceed up the stairs. While the rest of you can head towards where Jolinar has pointed at Miley's offices.
Oh boy. Nervous? Nope, not nervous. Very afraid? Very afraid. I think I'm nervous. Yes, company. Emotional support Kobold. Emotional support Salamander. Should I cover my ears? I should cover my ears, right? Okay, no. Okay, okay. Should I get better, put better clothes on or something like that? Just switch out quickly. Okay, just. What if she don't want me? Jesus, fuck all this. Okay, okay. Let's just go then. Well, he just fucking cleaned the house. God damn it. Okay, just politely knocks.
Yeah, you arrive at a perfectly square stone door that is standing open. And when you knock, you hear a voice inside say, "Yes, come in."
Just opens the door and just slowly walks in.
Inside, you see a perfectly square chamber, at the center of which are 4 perfectly square slabs of marble, upon which rests a perfectly square table, the center of which are a number of tools all arranged in an orderly fashion, surrounding a small icon of Kandarn. At the far end of the table sits a dwarf that looks somewhat like Ursula. She's a bit plumper, nowhere near as muscular, but of a similar hair color and size. And I have to say she has the same eye color for sure, though she's also quite a bit older. She glances up from her work, blinks, glances back down, blinks again. No, you died. You died a long time ago, cousin. Back out, hallucination. Have no power over me.
Please, no.
Puts a hand on the little symbol of Kandarn. My cousin died a long time ago.
I didn't. Almost did. But I didn't.
She looks up, takes you in a bit longer this time. You. Who are you? You're not...
Ursula.
Oh.
I'm Ursula.
Oh. Not... No, you are her. The child. Oh, Manus, you fool. I suppose you were right about one thing anyway. Miley will stand, circle around the table, put her hands on your shoulder. Look at you, all grown up. Gods, but you look just like her. How can it be you? How did you survive all these years?
It's a little bit on the long story. It's not very nice, but it's gotten better.
Huh. That's good, at least. Please, sit. Who are your friends?
Oh, I just pulls emotional support Kobold out. This is the great scholar and friend of everyone, Sir. Well, knighted. Or were you knighted, Szooth?
I forget at this point.
I think he was the only one who turned it down.
I believe that
Oh.
was the case, yes.
But you're still Lord of Lord in Navarra, right?
No.
Did he get a title in Navarra?
I don't believe so. Szooth has turned down every attempt everyone has made to title him. Except for Safia.
Oh, well, great sweeper of ashes.
He's been a loyal bold.
It's Satya. He is a high voice of the dragon Satya. Great scholar and good friend.
You speak for that
And
dragon that's been on the coast. I heard about that.
Indeed. I'm one of her traveling servants and scholar.
Huh. Kin and the servants of dragons. Please be welcome in my workshop. All of you sit. Ah. And you, my lady.
and this is Lady Nahia, Knight of Pergolit, Lady of Bavara, Losstaker, High Priest and Chosen of the Morgan.
Well, that's a fancy list of titles. Tell me, Ursula, are you too a knight?
Yeah, I got knighted before, and I have a house in Navarra. I'm a lady there.
Brilliant. And tell me, do you have children, Ursula?
I do.
You see,
He's smart.
you see an enormous smile spread across Smiley's features. So it is true. It is true, after all. Your mother was right. It's
I
this
don't
land.
know what. Oh,
That's why she left all those years ago. She said if we could have no children here, she would have one elsewhere. And so she did. I had thought for sure the curse had claimed you even still, but you live. And so does your child.
Can you tell me about Mom?
Of course, dear.
I don't know a lot. I know that times became bad, and because he just points at the wrist because of they they weren't happy, and well, they did. I don't know what happened. I know they hit me.
Oh, you poor thing. I'm afraid I don't know exactly what happened either. Just we heard later that she'd been lynched by the townsfolk. Like I said, I thought the curse had caught up, this blight on our kin, but I suppose it must have been something else now. But still, your mother was a good woman, brilliant, kind, good with her hands, a craftsman like me once. But she was too smart, realized that our kin were dying also. So she wanted to find a new future elsewhere. So she left, gave up her craft and kin name, went off to the human and catfolk world and had you, and, well, now look at you. You're the spitting image.
The thing I do not understand is that she did magic.
What? No,
Yeah.
no. No, no, no,
Yes.
no, no. Manus she was a craftsman, dear. Some might call what we do magic, but it is only hard work and skill and delicate fingers. We're no wizards here, we're dwarves. We create from nothing. But it is just skill.
That's the thing, though. She was the so-called witch of the town. She did potions, but I know she did magic.
Simple folk call many things magic, dear. Potion work isn't witchcraft, it's herbalism and alchemy. It's a type of science. Your
Oh,
mother was very smart. I'm sure she could have picked up the trade along the way.
I the it just turns her head and just shows where the massive jagged scar on the head. After they hit, after it hit, everything was different. Everything has been harder to think. But
Oh, you poor
I
dear.
one thing I do know she did magic. I saw her do magic. Not like I've seen like magicians, like with the is this your card? But no, I've seen real magic, and she I know she did real magic.
You poor thing. You were just a child. You must be mistaken. Come, there's no need to drag our poor cousin's name through the mud like that. She was a good and God-fearing woman. No witch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, good. Tell you what, why don't I get us something to drink? Are you a vodka kind of girl, or do you prefer tea?
I tend to just drink anything.
Vodka it is, then. She will get up and go to a small cabinet on the wall. She'd take out a quartet of small stone glasses, which she will arrange and pour full from a clear bottle, which smells of very potent alcohol. To kin reunited, then.
Yes, that is good.
And to Manus's memory.
I just nods to Naya's words. But everything here is so square. Like you don't do anything other than square.
Once we had beautiful geometric patterns everywhere. Our ancestors carved halls of every shape and size, but when the song left us, this is all we were left with.
The shapes?
I can still shape squares and rectangles.
No,
But
no, no, no. The shapes. I know the shapes. Just takes out her fucking stuff and just gets out her fucking advanced geometric shapes and three-dimensional formations and everything. Not the fucking not the what's it called? Not the summoning circles. She gave those away, remember? Yeah, so she gave away the summoning circles and the pattern for, like the cosmology. That's still hidden away because it's for more magic stuff, and that's not supposed to be magic stuff. But she has advanced geometric shaping and like because she had to, draw from something, had to work her way up. See?
Miley smiles again. It's good to see it does run in the family. Yes, indeed, like that, but shaped from stone in 3 dimensions, and once, long ago, our kin could do that with a song. weave the stone to any shape we wanted.
How long ago was that? And why did it just
Long ago.
poof?
I wish I knew. All the legend says is that one day the song left us, and the goddess too. Ever since, we've been in decline.
So, I was about out of curiosity, I was about to say Celestial, fucking goddamn
Senatrea?
names. No, the other one, the of Earth,
Saracena?
Saracena. There's so many Sarahs. You have sort of like a preference there for names there.
Oh yeah, don't forget like the 4K name gods.
Yeah, I know. But Saracena, yes.
She nods. Indeed, once we were blessed by the goddess. We sang her song to the stone, and it bent to our will, bent in her honor. Now, with effort, I make bricks. Spreads her hands. And I'm glad for it,
Wait,
for my trade feeds the whole of the settlement.
how much does it pay?
She smiles. Not enough to interest someone who travels with a champion of a god.
Oh, it's oh no, it's not that. It's how much does it usually pay? Like, because I know you did with my friend Jelenar.
Depends on what you buy, of course, but Jelinar paid me 50 pieces of silver for that cartload.
Just looks at her. Okay. Reaches into her bag and drops a pouch of coins into the table. There you go, for you.
She blinks and smiles and shakes her head. No, dear, please. We get by well enough. Your money is... Give this to your son, please. There's no point
Oh,
wasting it here.
oh no, it's just he has more. Yes, he he has it very good. He does not want for anything. Do not worry.
I'm
This is
sure.
for.
My
This
dear,
is for
beyond
you.
food, there's nothing to spend it on. There's no one here. If you give us money, it will just die with us. We lost. We'll be some adventurers find in a few decades. Please, keep it. But I thank you for the thought. You're just as kind as your mother was.
What? I just get out the fucking ancient ass tomes and slabs of Dwarven. of dwarven stonework and just flip through it. Try to find, when did you say about the song disappeared?
Don't know, dear. It was a long, long time ago. Far before I was born.
Then who would know? Well, like, where did they? Anything? Is there any information?
My dear, we're all that's left, a handful of us. The song was ours and ours alone, and it died with us. There's no one to ask.
And I take it the oldest one is the one outside.
Yes. Bishop Randos is the eldest of us. His son the Thane, the second.
And when the song disappeared, you said, was there anyone born afterwards? Did it just start bleeding? Because you were born,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
it's been a long, slow decline, but only these last few hundred years has it become so dire that, well, you've seen outside. There's not enough of us left to maintain the hold. Tunnels are starting to collapse. The lower levels are all but abandoned.
Is, do you know about spirits and curses and stuff like that?
I told you, dear, we're dwarves. We don't deal in magic here.
Well, if the place has been cursed, I mean, like that. Somebody long ago said, "Oh, I cursed this place," like that.
I'm sure Bishop Randos would have handled it long ago, or one of his many predecessors.
It, no, this place cannot die.
It died a long time ago, dear. We're just the ghosts that are
It's
left.
not. Bullshit. End of story.
She
You don't
just
give up
smiles.
until Kevin. Not now. Just I mean, you're not wrong there. I, well, I know of Saracena and that. Is it just that they don't get pregnant, or you know?
She gives you an indulgent smile and says softly, "It is not for lack of trying, I assure you." That's so.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. Alas, I am the youngest of the Stone Singers at 200. I am not sure that even
Oh,
if
yeah. It's easily. Easily. She could literally get a rock pregnant. I am not kidding.
well, Miley will do her best to wipe the blush and smile off of her face. That is certainly interesting. Nahia,
Yeah,
what would you
like
like to
we're happy to.
persuade her to do? Oh God.
You have to continue the blood. You have to continue the
Are
Stone
you
Singer
red
bloodline.
fielding your cousin Ursula?
I mean, just to literally show her, like, yeah, like the fact that she, this, the fact that she has access to the literal fertility of the earth itself to that extreme degree that she could literally, without any hyperbole of the word, get a rock elemental pregnant.
I've never seen a female rock elemental before.
That's because you haven't looked for the eyelashes or the cat ears.
Just a rock elemental shows up wearing a little cat headband and a tail plug.
That the hilarity is that the earth elementals, the rock elementals in 14, has small cat ears. It's really cute.
Yeah, Naya, I think you can certainly pique her interest, but she's definitely not gonna immediately throw herself on Hashat.
Well, she could throw herself farther, but that wouldn't do very much. They have to shrink or enlarge. We either shrink a shot or we enlarge her.
Yeah, that is true. Hashat would probably literally kill a dwarf.
Yeah,
She has
Elves
the
are
healing
naturally
con.
stretchy. Dwarves are very
not.
rigid.
Also, like, the kid would be a minotaur.
Yeah, that also is a thing.
Yes. I mean, there is also, what's the name? There is Becky's Virility Plus. Works really fucking well too.
I guess while Nahi's
But
trying to
it,
talk Hashat up, I will mention that they've tried certain things. That's where she and your mother came from. Or not necessarily backies, but some stuff peddled by a famous alchemist named Jacquard.
Classic Jakar.
we got a lead. Indeed. Because he has a sheety stone, son bitch. If Becky was allowed to go beyond level fucking 11, she could have literally been as well.
Yes. Aside from, I guess, secondhand pimping out a shot. Yeah, like I said, her interest is peaked, but it's definitely weird, and yeah, she's gonna take more convincing than just a conversation. It seems like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
Yeah, that would
understandable.
help.
Would you like? You know what? Let's go outside.
If we must.
Don't like the outside?
I'm a dwarf, dear. We
The
really
roof is
do.
the roof is too tall.
Yeah,
Weird.
but I'm a
Can't see the
dwarf
roof.
too. And I like to look at the stars. They're really beautiful, and they got all these weird shapes to them. Yeah, that too. Lots of booze, food, and dragon grass.
Alright, well, if you're gonna twist her arm like
Oh,
that, I suppose Smiley will indeed accompany you outside, though she is wary to step out beneath the great roof.
I could just hold her hand. It's like,
Oh, yes, she will love to hold your hand. So, while you guys are making your way outside, let's hop down to Tarn. And a dour old man who is currently deep in prayers to Kandarn. Assuming Merz is alive.
Yes.
Yes, there.
We'll knock 3 times on the door.
Holds a hand up to stay you, but finishes his prayers swiftly. Returns to his feet. Yes, yes.
Hail, Holdstone. I come seeking counsel.
I remember the last time one of your kin came seeking counsel. Was the same taxman the next year, nonetheless.
Well, in this it is not a matter of tax or of unwarranted ambition. The kin of one of my friends has been afflicted with greed, and it has come to these lands seeking a fortune. But he is young and untried. We need to find him, lest he fall far from his home.
Worthy goal, worthy. Know you where this child headed?
'Tis why I have come to you, old stone. A goblin whispered to him of a temple hidden beneath the hills near here. Would ask if there was any merit to this goblin's claims, for I have never heard of such a temple.
I know of no old temples in the hills, but I know this goblin of which you speak. Narrows his eyes and scowls. Thrice in my lifetime I have heard a similar tale. Adventurers coming into the cursed valley, searching for treasure or lost artifacts. Once on a pilgrimage of faith, all led by a goblin down there. Never seen one return. Each I've told and counseled to stay away, but young blood runs hot, then runs not at all.
Then there is no time to waste. What can you tell me of this deceiver?
Little, save that she poses as a merchant and claims to have found wild treasures down in the valley. I followed her once at a distance to see where it was she led these poor fools. A cave like any other, but the air around it was wrong, the earth diseased.
The curse of the undead.
No, that by Kandon's might I could have saved them from, but what was inside changed them. I only knew by the screams, the twist of their voices, as they became monsters too. Screams turned to slavering howls and whinnies like beasts.
Where is this cave?
It is not far. It was not open when the song was sung. The shifting earth has revealed it in time. Point directly to the south. A few miles hence, on the far side of the hill, there you will find this cave.
So close. I thank you, Old Stone. I hope we can still find a boy in time.
I shall pray for their safety, though to my shame it has done little for the last. He pauses and holds a hand up, shuffles to the altar, takes something off of it, and returns to you, pressing into your hand a small amulet of red gemstone encased in silver. You can see the faint outline of a dragon in the stone, shaped crudely, but certainly an expensive charm. If there is aught left of them, the last to lead a party on that fool's quest was a salamander, like your red friend. She left this here, an accident. Said she would pick up the chain once she returned, trusted it to me for repair. I would see it buried with her.
If her remains can be found, I shall see it done.
I shall also pray that all you find are remains.
I hope the gods have enough kindness for that.
He just shakes his head sadly, shuffles back to the altar.
Step out. Imagine that is.
That sounded grim.
I don't suppose your religious studies would give you any idea what that is that's done that.
It's a good question. I shall roll for.
And I shall probably do like Arcana.
Makes sense. Alright. Jeanette will shake her head. No, if I've ever heard of anything that's antithetical to the gods, that's about it, though. And Tarn, as you rack your brain. Of course, there are curses that can transform people. Lycanthropy, of course, is the most famous example. But there are also monsters, too, that reproduce by mutating others. The classic example, of course, would be a spider of Lang that turns a poor human or elf into a parasite, acts as a parasite on a host to puppet them around and continue to pump them full of egg to incubate, eventually reducing their host to a chitinous monstrosity.
It sounded faster than that, though. So
Indeed.
I've little. I've little knowledge as well. Things that are close, but nothing quite so abominable as this.
We should probably tell the others, then. I don't think Mr. Arik has much time.
I
Hop back on her horse and extend you a hand. Take you back to the group.
Hashat?
Oh, Tarnavak, hey, you're back. Everything going well in there?
In a sense, but believe we've found where your brother was taken.
Taken? I just talked to the idiot yesterday.
He, old priest, he's familiar with this goblin and bear trap.
Goblin.
Aye. A merchant who claims that they have unearthed a great treasure and just need adventurers to help clear it out. There's a
He's
cave.
fallen into a trap.
There's a cave. It's 5-6 miles south. The goblin has led adventurers there before, and something within has transfigured them.
To the south, you say.
Aye.
Then we need to go. The speed we travel, that's not too far. That won't take long to get.
As soon as the others are back, yes.
I
Here they
will.
come now.
I'll do ascending and see how he is.
The rest of the group about now is returning. August is dragging an immense sack behind him, which he heaves into the back of a cart. Hammer's back on his horse. And Ursula is holding the hand of a dwarf that looks suspiciously like herself.
Hey there.
Good news on your side, I see. A pleasure.
Yes.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is mine. I take it the large horned one is a shot.
Yes. The very large one. Yes.
She just leans back to Ursula and says, "That will kill a dwarf."
I just whisper. We can make her smaller, or you bigger.
More magic.
No, alchemy.
You mean to... Tap her chin. As she's doing that, Hashat, could you give me I don't know, let's say a Constitution saving throw?
Shite.
Okay.
Not blessed, but you know.
Alright. You take 34 psychic damage.
Ow!
The rest of you see Hashat like turn vaguely towards Miley as she's being talked to and then recoil and begin bleeding profusely from her nose.
What the fuck?
We know where Hashat's brother was led by the merchant. And we clearly have even less time than I thought.
Oh shit. I just
We have to
lift.
go.
I just lift Millie up and just run her back in before running back.
Ah,
Boom. Sorry, I got to go now. I'll be back.
She stammers something by the way of, be safe.
Okay, that's hot. Let's go. Let's go then.
There's a cave 4 or 5 miles straight south of here. Just far
Oh.
side of one of the hills.
Where? Just. Nahia, get up. Yep. And just. Yeah.
All right, let me grab some tokens. Jelinar will wave you off and say he'll be in Mastings if all goes well. And would one of you, let's say, roll me a d5, please.
D5.
A d5. You probably want to roll low.
Oh, that's reassuring.
It is.
Is it how many people have been turned into
Hey,
monsters
look!
already?
Just one.
Yes.
And we're not just regular, we're just ram speed.
All right. So it does take you a couple of hours to get to this cave. Ursula makes you go fast, but this is difficult, nasty terrain with no road in sight and quite overgrown even besides the rocks. And these are old trees clinging to the mountainsides. But you have an excellent navigator and you know exactly where you're going, so without undue difficulty, you do arrive at the mouth of this cave. And, no doubt to your relief, find that there is a camp set up outside where 4 adventurers are patching their wounds. They look to have been through the ringer recently, but between a paladin who is currently lay on handsing herself and a tremendous minotaur who is now as much bandage as fur, they are alive, it seems.
Just coming in here, fucking Tokyo drifting.
Arik steps out from in front of his tent, hefting up his imbalanced, now bloodied axe. Sees a lot of you coming. A shot? Whoa! What happened to you?
Deck him, out of character.
Hashat,
him.
Hashat stands up, just stomps forward and just gives him a look, and then she is going to immediately turn her attention to the cave.
Yeah, you give him the look. He just comes and gives you a huge hug. Oh, fuck, I'm glad you're here. I hope you're half the hero all the stories say you are. We're in trouble.
What is it?
The monsters in the cave, they took Fork.
Fork?
What kind of monsters?
Wait, 1, 2, 3. The lizard folk.
The Amazon will step up, heave her greatsword onto her shoulder. Fork, our lizard folk, the fighter. These fungus creatures inside. We made it through the first room fine, but then the second, there are dozens of them. They barreled him to the ground and dragged him off into the caves. We barely made it out alive.
Fungus. God damn it.
The tiefling girl will laugh and in a strong Nervayan accent say, there is a fungus among us, yes. Hopefully not one that will be carrying out.
That rules out me simply collapsing the cave.
I just climbs up Hashat.
Thank you. I needed that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to make sure, is Val okay?
Sorry, what was that, Kino?
Just to make sure, is Val okay?
Yeah, she's okay, she says, but she also can feel like a psychic static building up.
Okay. I'm not going to do any more sendings for a while because this is the second time I've gotten a huge backlash from it in like a week.
Well, you know what to do. You know, with the fungus, just chuck out heroism potions.
If you weren't
Punch.
so injured, I would bury you in the ground right now, up to your neck. I sent you I sent you 2 messages. Called me a witch.
What? How do you speak into people's minds? That's nuts. That's very witchy.
Earthly
Says-
spread.
Says the magic user. Ooh,
Says
spooky
the-
magic.
Says the apprentice wizard.
Well, yeah, I do proper wizardry. You know, turning people into frost and zapping people with magic. You don't speak into people's minds.
Time's wasting. Time's wasting. Your friend.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, we can yell at each other later. If you're
That
ready
I
for
will.
action, so are we.
No, you all stay out here.
Like hell.
Alright, just stay behind us. Don't get in the way of any explosions, fireballs, or draconic breath.
Paladin will
Oh,
nod.
it's Tarnavak gonna do his reveal.
Yes.
Paladin blinks as you unfurl your wings. Oh, so you are the one who's been stooping my cousin.
You, forgive me, I do not know how to recognize all of the lion fangs.
It's the red hair and the gorgeous physiques every time. The Siegberg Lion Fang. Wish it were under better circumstances.
Indeed. Tarnavak Dracul. But yes, let's... Which entrance did you go in? That's the central one?
Catfolk cleric will lean up, nod. Yes, that's the only one that leads anywhere. The other 2 or 3, really, are just shallow, dead ends with traps. We thought that for sure meant we were on the right track.
And what happened to the goblin?
She wasn't with us. He just told us where to find the treasure, said we could give her a cut back at Mastings if we found it.
It's not the first time this goblin has apparently done this.
All those fungal monsters. They're young adventurers just like you.
Carl shake her head sadly. Mother always told me monsters would just eat adventurers. Did not think they made a whole habit of it, though.
That's not what these things are going to do. They're not going to eat your buddy.
Oh, yet.
Something much worse.
Come on, Louis. We must get to action then. Save Fort from becoming worse than dinner. you guys would like to arrange a marching order.
How wide?
Probably 2 would be best. Just gonna go
All
ahead
right.
and grab some stat blocks out while I change.
DCO?
He was on the phone last we heard. Is Gaius coming with?
I got off the phone. It just was not a good conversation.
Oof.
Every fucking Monday, I swear.
Okay, so
What am I missing?
Marching order. You're about to go into the cave and hopefully find Shot's friend's brother or brother's friend.
Ah, where's
you're
Szooth?
in Hashat,
Yeah, I can whip Szoothbot out
Mecha
for
suit.
you. Although I think you can also do that.
Oh, drag and drop token?
It should be.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I was saying I was just making sure I could. I had permission. I just dragged and dropped it in.
It would work.
No, I need to be way more in the front. If I'm,
Yeah, probably swap with Tassie.
yeah, thank you. I was just about to ask.
But don't want to put yourselves on the board yet. Because
Oh,
I
okay,
need to drag you onto the other map.
my mistake.
Yes. These nerds will be following you in behind.
Gaius.
Yeah, I'll get him in a sec.
Before we march in, let's see. You know what?
Yeah, everyone.
Do I save a
You also
flame
have
strike, or do I do a holy weapon? Or does Tassie do a holy weapon?
Flame strike, given the fact that fungi
Fungus?
spores.
Eh.
Yes. You were distributing potions of heroism, right?
Heroes. Yep,
Yeah, I might as well just gulp one of those. Those last for a while, right? Like an hour at least.
an hour.
Yeah, I feel like
so
I
you got
drank mine
less.
just now. Unless this is a big cave. I might be forgetting.
We don't know.
Okay, I'll actually save it.
Well, the thing is, it lasts an hour, and we're going straight into a fight.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I'll take it.
See, Mushroom Daddy, I fucking knew it. The sons of bitches hit like trucks.
Alright, I think that'll do. Alright. Time to grab a giant brick of adventurers. That's a lot of dudes. Good God.
Yeah, this is a big stack of dice.
Alright.
Ooh. So are they, though.
Yeah, there are many duders. Feel free to throw yourselves on the boards at this point. Scow, you should have control of Jeanette and obviously Kinathis.
That was the wrong character. Oh well.
So yes, you burst in through a series of winding caves and tunnels through one chamber that's not terribly large but is covered with ichorous black and green blood and several large claw marks on the ground leading inwards, which Sigrid would tell you is the furthest their group got. Then you push through into a much, much larger chamber, dominated by a pair of statues that perhaps once had features but now are featureless white and marble covered in fungus. And there is a great deal more covering the ground everywhere. and in the shadows, spider webs as insectile faces look down upon you hungrily. See, Scout, don't forget poor Jeanette. Other than that, I think that's everyone. Zippy fast cleric. Sure, I will throw her in games for now. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So, Ursula, you are up first.
What the hell are those things?
Those appear to be big balls of fungus that are clinging to the pillars. They pulse softly, and you can see spores billowing up off them.
Well, first and foremost, let's start with a rage. And I just check. These were the guys that attacked you.
Let's see. Yep. Seagull shake her head. It was just those little puffball things. It was only the mushrooms that came at the end and grabbed Fork.
The big ones. Or
She nods. The ones with the hat.
okay, so with rage I get 15, 15. And then rage going, we'll just take that off. And then move up. Actually, I'll start here, and then let's get some rage going here, and some hook chaining with some nasty ass fucking mage bane on. Let's see this shit. 27 plus 2, I think that's a hit.
Yeah, by more than double. The hook sinks into soft, pliant mushroom flesh. It groans at you.
And just yell out, Fork! Fork, where are you?
He
And just
can't
yank
answer
the
you.
son
He
of a
doesn't.
bitch.
He doesn't talk.
Oh, shit. And then get smacking.
All right, another solid hit.
Son of a bitch is grappled.
He
Whoever the fucker took him better come out.
All right, Tassie.
Tassie, what was that? Oh, Tassie's going to slip under Hashat and move over here. You know what? Spores don't like. I think it's fire. Just gonna jab a finger right over here, I think. Yeah, that looks like a good one. Fireball.
Fireball. And you said from this square, right?
Yes.
Okay. Goodbye, treasure chest. You hardly need.
I get it. Oh, okay. Yeah, fire. Treasure
All right.
chest. Fire.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
How about
Spore.
there? How about there?
Okay, I guess you can just not destroy the treasure chest.
Yeah, I'll
Fine.
not destroy the treasure chest.
Alright. Guess what a fungus puffball's dex is? Bad.
Not a lot. Whoa! -4? Ouch.
Yeah, they don't go very fast. Boom!
And Mushroom Daddy.
Yep, Mushroom Daddy. Also dex bad, but not that bad. Unfortunately, it is in fact that bad. And he's vulnerable to fire, so he goes down to like 5 hit points. All of the other fungus hiss
So he has-
and groan in unison. Oof. Ark cannot get into this shit, so he's going to spend his action casting Blur on himself.
Not the bad one.
And I guess he'll squeeze into this square so that people can get by him. He's a big fat fuck. Alright, Mushroom Dads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy's going to slowly lumber up towards Ursula. 2, 3, 4. 4. Also lumber up towards Ursula. They have to double move to get there because they're really slow. And this guy. 1, 2. Carefully step around the treasure chest. 6, 8. It's starting to look like a casting couch up there. Jeanette.
Oh, what about this dude?
The fuck do you want him to
You have
do?
to
He's
use-
grappled. He can't move.
People words now. Shoot, this weakened guy, I think.
I guess the grappled one will dodge.
You could try to, like, break out.
Eh, I guess. No.
Wah, wah. That's fine. No luck. No luck hitting it away.
Yeah. Fortunately, there's just too much beef in the way. Can't get a
Chunky man.
bead. Tater.
I'm gonna get out of the way. Don't worry.
Nice name there, Kina.
Yeah, I know. It's been like that all day, all session, and I just haven't bothered to change it.
Hashat knows her place in society. She is the tater.
I guess a shot could just move forward.
Just hit me with your. I know you got that. You can alter stuff, correct?
Yeah. All right. Okay. I haven't done this one yet. This should be funny.
Well, molten.
His shot's going to. Let's see, which one is it? Is it this one? Is this the one? Yes, this is the one. The shot is going to reach down into the earth and reach down, down, down until it gets nice and hot, down under the crust where the lava, where the magma starts to churn, and she's going to pull it up. Let's see. 3, 4. Let's just burn out this infection. Let's see. That looks like I can't see anything. Okay. Oh, it would roll all those ones.
Fucking
Holy
own.
shit!
One
Wow,
five,
that's actually
1
really
5 1 1
sad.
5 2 1 2. Ugh.
What was
Wait,
the?
hang on a second. Wait, wait. What was my spell? Oh, it's fired. It's fireball.
Okay. What square were you centering it in?
This one looks pretty good.
Okay. However, before it goes off,
Can I? Do I have subtle, quicken, extend, transit? Aha!
you can get counterspelled.
Counterspell.
That's a 5th level spell I'm casting.
That is, so
I'm
she
upcasting
will.
it.
She will try and overcome you.
No,
you are not counterspelled.
By the way, I am going to use this
Okay,
to re-roll all those fucking ones.
that makes sense.
So that's 4 ones.
So
Wait, what's my charisma? 3. Okay, 3 of those ones are going to get changed.
all right, just give me a damage total while you're figuring that out. So yeah, something tries to disrupt your spell casting, and all of a sudden, some of the fungus shifts and churns around in the middle of the chamber, and a vaguely humanoid shape with long feelers and green skin appears from inside. It tuts at you, and then, yeah, your fireball destroys a bunch of these fucking minions. Let's see.
Okay, so.
3. Yep, they explode.
And then I do mine. I succeed.
And Mushroom Daddy is this guy, just die no
So.
matter what.
26, 36 total, 72.
One of them
the
succeeded, I
mushroom
think,
daddies.
maybe. Yes. Holy shit, it's a miracle.
Did it?
So he takes
18.
Oof.
He did it.
Yeah, it's
So what was the total damage?
congratulations.
Just a second.
36.
40.
Okay, so annihilated.
Or
Down to 5
Is that
HP, and
sure
this
that's
guy
correct.
only takes 40. Nice. Boom.
Okay, so half for success. So it's a 10. There goes my 10 hit points.
yeah, that's about right. Yeah. And then she's going to step forward, I guess, and try and get out of the way a little bit.
All right. Kari will rush up and pull a hand crossbow off her belt and bean that mushroom daddy that's been injured and drop it. It groans and collapses. The dryad-like creature in the center of the chamber shakes her head. She does not seem to speak yet, but she is glowering at you all.
Evade her, huh?
Hashat,
Mm-hmm.
a
Bugs.
crab-like insect descends from a spiderweb near you and tries to give you the clamps.
Not the clamps.
It's a crab spider. Where's the spider crab?
No. No.
No.
Alright. This other one is going to rear back and curl its hind end towards you and...
Strength saving throw.
Yeah.
That's not Tassie's sheet, not shots. No.
No. Adhesive. You just rip the whole reel out of him.
These creatures hurt my brother. I'm going to turn them to paste and burn them and crush them.
All right. The other ones have not been disturbed in their webbing, so they're gonna vibe. Szooth.
Right then. We have this big old mushroom, Dad. I don't know. How are you doing with that spider crab?
It's fine. I got this.
Kind of just want to come over and whack Big Dad.
Go on
Makes
ahead.
sense.
I'm in range with him. So I'm gonna come over here. We're just gonna whack on Big Mushroom Dad. Actually, I don't need to stand like that close. I keep forgetting I have a pole arm. I think Ursula is still tankier than me. So yeah, I'll just come over here. We'll do our wax. And we have the heroism potion up, so let me count that on. Oh, wrong character sheet. That's why I didn't have any of my things. There we go. There's Guardian Nafshes.
Let's get your damage on.
Yep. There we go. All right, everything's ready. I'm just gonna start swinging. Swing number 1. Oh, I wish I had advantage. Oh, actually, I barely did anything. That was a sad crit.
Yeah. Let's see. 28. It's still standing.
All right. Another swing.
All right. That drops it. It crumbles.
And I don't have enough movement speed to keep going forward, so that'd be my turn.
Darn.
Hello. Let's just flap on up. And, Vader, how do you feel about fire breath?
Not particularly great.
All right. I realize I don't actually have a clickable thing for fire breath anymore. Or yes, I do. It's on here.
I'm surprised. Holy shit.
Wow.
That's
She
impressive.
ducks back deftly away from your breath. Waggles a finger at you.
Well,
I guess Luce is just gonna double move. Go over here and fight these guys. Nahia.
Well, you
Okay, and first up, before I go throwing any AoEs out, do I see that lizard?
You sure do not, nor do you hear any sign of him.
Like, I'm tempted to blast the Veta, but if he's like hiding there underneath all that moss, I'll fucking cook him. I don't really want to risk it.
well, do we know what way there speaks?
There is a passage, but you never know. No, I'm just gonna I'll play it safe and hex an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Did I even bother
Is
keeping hex? That would be amazing if I didn't. I did. Okay. It's like a warlock without hex. What is this? No, I did. Pew.
Oh, that's certainly a hit.
Pew.
Consistent.
Pew.
Very consistent.
Really consistent. And that'll affect her strength in case she starts getting yanked around by that chain.
Makes sense. Sieg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you actually have a ranged weapon? Yes. Yeet. Alright, did not help. August. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also has spent his whole turn basically getting out of the bus. I guess he will just huck a Sacred Flame at the Vader. No. Funk balls. Let's see, how fast are you guys anyway? Oh, they're actually kind of zippy. Alright, 3 attacks on Hashat as these creatures pop off of the wall and sort of float towards you. They head directly for your legs where they try to attach themselves and kneecaps.
No, get away from me. Fuck off.
And on Lewis, kneecaps. Hey, they got one. Catfolk grunts in pain. And one of them does, in fact, attach itself to his leg and starts slapping and grinding some teeth-like appendages on him. And yeah, these are not level 1 adventurers, surprisingly enough. Innovator gets to go. So, first of all, she is going to sweep her hands towards the webbing near her shot and shot. Some of the skeletons hung up in the webbing begin to twist and writhe as fungus grows amongst their bones.
How dare.
It's Zomboni time. What? Oops. What? And then it's time to slap Tarnavak around. Let's see. Actually, even better yet. 2, 3, 5. We'll stop here, I think. Oh, no, one more square. Let's go here. Yes, good. Good. She dances forward, and as she does so, a pair of wings appear behind her, flicking out a great many pollen-like spores. Boop. She does not recharge, but
Oh no.
time to make some saves. Nahia, Szooth, Ursula, Gaius, and Hashat as well.
Savin. Would my saving phase have recharged since I used it for...
Yeah, I'd say so. You were riding on one of the carts.
You
could have taken a short
you
rest while
weren't
you
in the
travel.
effect.
What?
You weren't.
Yes, I am. It's a 20-foot radius on herself, not
Yeah, it's not
not
a
a
Oh.
home. Yeah. So Savin just didn't need to measure to me because it was obvious I'd be in it.
I guess
Well,
I'm just going to spend my
Nice.
inspiration on this. It didn't matter.
August has advantage
It does
because
because
charm
you're...
resistance elf. Oh god,
Oh,
his
right.
wisdom save though.
Oh no. Okay. Oh.
Yay. Alright, Hashat, you are charmed. And not Nahia. Yep, pretty much. See, is Sigorg in range? No, she's just out. Alright, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna dance a little bit back. That. And let's see. I think that's all she can really do. Yeah. Alright. Oh, but the skeletons get to go. So they're gonna shuffle up a little bit. 4, 5, 6. These two will just come over here and bonk a shot. They pull some old rusty pole arms. Yeah, it's a good question, Tarn. Don't worry, there's a decharge on that. You'll find out later. So on Hashat, skeleton just destroys one of the fungal balls. Crunch. And one attack on Ursula. Oh, it hits for negligible damage.
Indeed.
Nancy.
Hey, it's my turn.
Oh, sorry.
try
Yes,
it.
Ursula.
Okay, so I'm gonna move up a bit, and then the waiter.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like Mage Bane, right?
That would be a reasonable assumption since she has cast multiple spells at you guys.
Well, guess what my hood chain is drenched in?
Yep.
Reckless.
Did not matter.
Ah.
Okay, now it mattered. Alright, so 9, 12. Ow. And con save. Not her best save, but we'll give it a try. She's alright.
And then just yank her closer.
Now, Tassie.
Tassie could. Let's see. I mean, she could do a flame strike, or she could run a double move up to Tarnavak and bless his sword.
Nah.
It might be worth it to flame strike and also blast yourself and Gaius to decharm.
I don't know if that will work.
There's absolutely no reason to think it would in this case.
God, you know she wants to do big fire.
Tassie do love fire, though.
She do. She do. Wait, these are spores, right? Wait. What if she just burns the spores off of her shot? Oh.
Fire good.
Don't worry about me, just burn away.
Yeah. She is going to back up over this way. Sorry about this. Please work, please work, please work, please work.
Oh, Lord. Alright.
I see.
It is a spicy meatball.
Good luck, fungal spores. You can crit, right? No, you just both explode and fire.
Hashat also needs to make a wisdom
Mhm.
saving throw.
Oh, that's an attack.
Holy
roll.
shit!
1, 2, 3. Nope, they all get roasty toasted, and that's certainly more damage than they have hit points. So, boop, boop. I think that only hits. Yeah, that only hits one of the cave fishers. Well, they got that going
Hashat only
for them.
takes like. Hashat does not actually take much damage.
36. Okay, they do actually have some hit points.
Her
And the
temporary
Vader. Sure wishes she could counterspell again. Instead, she'll make a dex save and succeed again.
Although if she's weak to fire, then
Isn't
she
she
takes double anyway.
grappled?
That
Oh,
does
fuck.
not impact her dex save as far as I'm aware. How it would be restrained.
Does that? Oh, her speed is.
Yeah,
not
no, the grappling
actually, you know
condition
what?
kind of is just that useless.
Yeah, grapples. I mean, it means she can't walk away.
Her speed is 0, and that's
Ooh.
it.
Yep. Restrained is what gives you disadvantage on dex saves. Alright, I think that's it. Alright.
Does the fire washing over Hashat have any impact or not?
Hashat, make a constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Good reminder.
Character sheet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, excellent. It washes away some of the spores, but not all of them. Alright, double moves, because he was at the back of the meat bus.
Let me.
The meat bus.
It was safer at the
Alright,
back
you
of the meat bus.
hear rumblings and stompings from the north.
More
as
mushroom daddies.
More mushroom daddies begin making their way downtown.
A whole bunch of mushroom daddies.
Whole fuck bus of mushroom daddies. 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, it takes them a move action to get there, and then they have to double move. I'm sure they won't get fireballed again, right, guys? You wouldn't do that to me, right?
I wonder.
Jeanette.
Let's see here. Let's go with a Lance of Faith on Tater. Never mind, it's a miss. And then a Mass Healing Word on Tater, Ursula. Does anyone actually? Oh, wait, no. I don't think anyone's really been massively hurt. I shouldn't use a Mass Healing Word at all.
Probably not.
You know what? No. She'll move up. She'll do it for Tater, Lewis, Ursula, and anyone else who might have fucking gotten scratched.
All right. They'll take it. Right. By the way, her blue bar is her spell slot, so mark that down.
Okay, sure.
And Hashat.
It's time for a shot. It also, I think I might have a way out of this.
Okay.
It's kind of a long shot. But Val can try and possess Hashat.
That is a thing she can do with your action if you want.
She can try. She will try and do that.
Sure.
So
Right.
Hashat needs to make a charisma saving throw. Unfortunately, there's a high chance of her passing that. Yeah.
Your brain is entirely too wrinkly for Val.
I guess.
She just gets lost in all of the channels. So instead, what you're going to do on your turn is just kind of stand there and swagger back and forth. You're PP hard.
Oh no.
Kari. 2, 3. She is going to climb up Hashat and Arik, just brace her feet on your shoulders, and try and get a shot off on the Vader. And instead hit Ursula directly in the asshole for 16 damage. Oh, Bliat, I'm so sorry.
Stops. Of course. Of course, this has to be a friend of Nahia that shoots me in the ass.
Hashat, I think you get
That's
pinched
a
once.
hit.
Yeah, there's a hit in there.
I did, yes, it hit.
Szooth.
I'm pretty sure I'm charmed.
You are. Unless you have any cool anti-charm tricks up your sleeve.
I do as a monk, not so much as a Gundam.
All right. You know what would be really cool of you to do, though, is to come over here and give the Vader a hug. I'm just going to come over here.
Well, I am charmed by the Vader. I don't see how a hug would be bad.
Exactly. Aren't you just the sweetest thing? Tarn.
All right.
Wait, don't I get to make? Oh wait, no, I don't get to make a roll.
Nope.
Could I do like, since she is a Vader, could I do like hopefully as a free action like an Arcana roll to try to work out how best to break these sorts out of mined control?
Sure. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Can Marek help?
Yeah. He also has the awareness to assist. All right. Bathing them in fire will burn off all the spores. Some sort of anti-poison effect would also help. Alternatively, killing the Vader would almost certainly stop their mystical effects.
Yeah.
Eric recommends that one.
Was, I think, the plan. So, fighting Spiritu. On in, and let's just start carefully chopping off all of the bits Szooth is touching. And then I'll stop being careful after those are gone.
All right, chop off all of Szooth and...
All right. Is she weak to fire?
Surprisingly enough, no. Just all of her friends. Yeah, not supremely confident on her survival here. That is 13 damage.
Oh, I accidentally did an exclamation mark instead of a 1.
She lived.
All
Barely.
Right. Action surge.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
All right, she stopped living. What? As a wordless cry escapes her lips as the first strike cleaves her down.
Yeah. I'm not stopping.
Yeah, makes sense. Continue slicing her into pieces. Blood and viscera sprays up all over poor Szooth. Actually, Tarn, why don't you make me an intelligence test real quick? This is something only you can do. No assists. Okay. The air smells and tastes kind of funny around here now. Blech.
Yeah, she's probably not completely dead. After, she is like Dryad adjacent, so probably have to kill her fungal home. But, destroying her outside form helps.
Oh yeah, that'll keep her down for a good long while. Lewis. Time to bonk. Bonk. He destroys a minion. And finally, one of these dies to something that isn't fire. It explodes in a spore cloud. And Lewis takes more damage. He coughs and sputters. God damn it. Nahia.
Hey. Well, I never get to do this. I'm gonna walk up to here. I'm not gonna get close to that chest, just in case that chest happens to be getting a little bit closer to us and eagerly awaiting to be grabbed full of loot. I can't not do it. That was a real sad flame strike.
Oof.
That was
Where that centered? Just on the daddies?
yeah, in Dad's zone.
Oh, man. My mushrooms. Alright. Deck saves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, one of them nope, not high enough to pass. It was a high number
Fear
though.
it was a good number. I'm just charisma to I'm just all the way down a level 11 caster with a fucking 19 primary.
It's a good chunk of damage.
Yeah, what, like 22 fire and 10 radiant?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty spicy.
Sieg.
You know what? Voron is.
Oh god,
No,
yes,
wait,
that's right. He is the minion. Wait, that will kill Voron, by the
That
way.
will kill him. That will. In fact, if Voron flies to go and kill something with 1 hit point, I'm soon just gonna pinch by the little bird scruff, place back down again.
He tries so valiantly.
I know he thirsts for murder, but he just gotta hold back.
Sieg pops another fungal spore, which is gonna spicy. Lewis continues to have no constitution. It's unfortunate for him. And he's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gaius. Let's see. Do you actually have any source of fire damage, Gaius? I don't think Sacred Flame is radiant damage. Oh, you have Fireball. Lamau. Hold on.
Yeah, he's a fiend cleric, isn't he?
That's right. Hold on. Let me just destroy the rest of these mushrooms real quick. Yeet. And it's 5th level. Boom. Let's see. Does that 40, 52? Yeah, that destroys all of them, even if they pass. Goodbye, mushrooms.
Oh, Eric, fireball. And he doesn't know anything about sending. He's just an evoker. That's all he is.
Yeah, Arik has 3 spells, or one of them is a buff to his defenses, and the other 2 are Evocation Fire. So yeah, he's a battle mage. What do you want? Fungal Ball, the one that remains, will continue. It's also the one that was already attached to Lewis's kneecaps, so it will continue to kneecap him. And it crits. Cool.
Oh no. Lewis.
Cleric in danger.
Cleric in danger.
Fungal Vader has been torn to pieces. Ursula.
I feed him a potion.
Okay. He does not resist. Oh, thank you, miss.
I just check. Can I just step on this thing?
No. It is a little too roly-poly to
Okay.
just be stepped on.
Okay.
Now Tassie can murder it.
Yeah, Tassie will step around so that she's got a clear line of fire. And she's going to shoot it with a Scorching Ray.
Well, that destroys that. She's got 2 more rays.
Please don't miss. Okay,
No, just
Valyria.
shoot your brother in the fucking asshole. It's fine.
Okay, I didn't hit an ally.
Yeah, see, it's fine. Alright. Arik is going to hurl a snowball at those cave fishers. He rears back, conjures a bunch of ice in his hand, and hurls it over Hashat's head like a mortar. Dex. Oh.
Well, to take half.
Yeah, you know. It's not the worst. You two will move a little further in. Mushroom Dads seem to be defeat at the moment. Jeanette.
Let's see here. Move up into this space and let's just shoot that cave fisher. Pew! Do it hit?
Let's see, that's a good question. No. Well, actually, this one's been, like, it's had its webbing all fucked up, so yeah, that'll do.
Bonk.
Tater.
Kina?
Sorry. I think I'm just going to crush these guys. Just going to squish them. I'm going to Molten Smash. Yes. Molten Smash, the one that's weaker. Oh, fuck.
Well, luckily Kari is standing on your shoulders, so probably can't
Right.
be smashed, but let's see what happens. I don't think the crab can support the weight of your hammer, so you can just have that back.
I will
It does not
use a
want.
sorcery point. I use a couple sorcery points to try again.
Fair enough.
That's better.
There you go. That crush.
Ooh, that jumping damage, 12.
Nice.
Question, how are you doing that?
I am quickening the green flame blade chant.
Nice.
Which, as part of its casting, is a melee attack.
Extremely ghetto extra attack.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. Kari is going to jump off of Hashat's shoulder and pretend that she's playing Fori and flank this guy. Pull out a sword and take a swing. Ooh, nice. Cave Fisher will chomp her. Right. Uh-oh. She chooses to take half. The other cave fishers have seen how this is going, and up in the corner they all get very small. And, yeah, I think Szooth's pretty much gonna destroy this last standing enemy. Without much problem.
I mean, you want me to roll or?
Up to you if that makes you feel good. I'm also content to just let you not.
Although murder usually does suit my mood. I'll talk to you about that in detail later. For now, I can skip, because I've had a phone call was a call.
Oof. Alright. The cave fisher is obliterated.
Alright, so Savin,
Yes.
what's all this then?
That is basically a little hut made out of fungus. There is a very small entrance that you can just barely see once you get up close to it. That's covered in like vines of mushrooms and strange little feelers. And inside there is something resembling a bed, also made of fungus, and a nightstand, also made of fungus. And sitting right outside at the corner is a treasure chest, which is not made of fungus.
No conveniently tied up lizard boy in there?
No.
Right. Muster yourselves, let's press on.
Aye and aye.
All right.
All right. And
Too
so
wide again?
Yeah. We'll muster these nerds. Although I think this hour it's probably a pretty decent time to call it.
Yeah.
We've become 3 wide.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, good enough. Shocking, just kind of fat ass out of the way there.
Close enough.
It's an order. Oh wait, no, Nahia is also not in the party.
Shit.
All right, hold on. I just move the NPC bus back again.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
All right, there you go. A seagull, come up there.
I would say this. Given the fact that the lizard was being dragged, did you see any, claw markings? And
Oh yeah, once you guys start moving past the fungus house, you can see a bunch of claw marks and some rather fresh red blood leading to the north. But we will pick that up next time. Now, I can get rid of these tokens and grab the real ones. Right, quick.
and now I can add to my character sheet Stonesong.
Yeah, you have a surname.
Yay!
Let's see, Forks, where's your token? There we go. All right. So it is. I guess this is all over one day, so it's just still the 16th.
Yep.
5.
Yep. Given the fact that we can move at 4.5 miles per hour.
You zippy. So, did you explore a new interesting location? Yes. Did you discover new interesting truth about the world?
Yes, the dwarves of Stonesong
Seems to be
had a
cursed.
yeah, they were cursed, and they also, once upon a time it was named very appropriately because they sang to their stones.
Indeed. Did you make a new ally or lasting enemy? While Arik was always your ally, his friends are new friends. And they really appreciate you helping them find their strange little lizard. Did you advance or complete a quest? Yes. Did you discover a new page in a companion story? Why, yes. So that sounds like another 5 XP session.
Well,
I think you guys are getting pretty close to a 100 break mark.
499
Whoa,
out of 500.
Yeah.
real close.
Next session, we'll get an ASI
Or a feat.
or a feed, I guess.
All right. And if you're watching on the stream or YouTube, thanks for tuning in. I don't think we're going to have Sav&D on Thursday because LOL Elden Ring. But either way, we'll see you for a Sav&D next. Till then, adios and do take care.